Having high levels of food focus is really common. During a diet, you reduce the amount of energy that you have, you reduce the amount of food that you have overall, you hone in on the goal that you have, and you know that the food that you're having is super important to that specific goal that you're having. When hunger starts to kick up, you start thinking about, oh, when my next meal is, and you start thinking about, okay, what am I having, and start even thinking about how it's going to even taste. Salivating over the meal that you're going to have. And this food focus is quite high, and within the research, it's something that is a massive important factor when it comes to managing it in the short term and long term. Over the short term, there is going to be more focus towards food. It kind of is part and parcel of when you're on a diet. And being able to understand that you are going to focus on food a little bit more, and that your job is to remain active, remain proactive around what you're thinking about instead of being caught thinking about those things. Having a routine with food intake so you know what time your meals are going to be, keeping to those structured times, and having everything prepared will make it much easier for you to run on automatic instead of think about, oh, what am I going to have, what's next, and what is it that I'm going to get. And that will help it massively during the diet. After the diet, it doesn't miraculously go away. It doesn't just finish like the diet finishes and you transition into reverse dieting. Unfortunately, it's something that it will transition away, but you have to give it some time. It's like the physiology of hunger and the physiology of appetite when it comes to moving through that reverse dieting. It's going to still be present even when your calories are up, and you still have to do some level of automation, meal prep, and scheduling so that you don't get caught in that no man's land of like, oh, but I could have this, or I could change it and have this, and then you're going based on your emotions and your taste buds and the fact that you're really, really super high focused on food, as opposed to what you need to do on your day to day, and it becoming more of an issue week on week. When food focus will take a massive climb up if you struggle with yo-yo dieting in the past, whether you know it or not, if you've always struggled with yo-yo dieting, or like always dieting, or always like having something from a food perspective that you're doing, and you get super excited about going out for dinner, or you get super excited about going off plan, these are going to be really hard things to break, because ultimately you want to get to a position, and the long-term approach is that you want to get to a position where any food you can take it or leave it, and you can get to a position where you're not super excited, or you're putting food on a pedestal and you're not salivating over that, oh my god, I'm going to have this. For years, PTs and personal trainers and all these type of guys are probably the most food focused out of everybody. We celebrate that we're going for dinner to go for a steak. Oh yeah, I can't wait for that steak, it's going to be really, really cool. Or yeah, I can't wait for that. Or I can't wait for this. Or yeah, I'm going to have this and it's going to be so great. We get super high on a pedestal with food, and it becomes super difficult to take food away and become satiated by the small nice things. So what I would say is that food focus is natural to the beginning when you're doing a diet, because it'll be something of new. You'll need some level of focus towards to do that. But when you move into that lifestyle phase, removing food focus, taking away the excitability, the pedestal of what food is on during that diet, is going to be critical. And you almost have to be able to get to a point where food is at a point where you don't celebrate it. It's take it or leave it, and that you have what you want rather than what you need to have to get the most out of it because of that diet that you're on before. And we live in a situation where there'll always be another opportunity to have food. There'll always be another opportunity to go back to that restaurant. There'll always be another opportunity to not have to just have your cake and eat it all of the time. So once you move into that position, and it takes some practice, your food focus will go quite quickly, especially when hunger reduces, you're eating foods that you really like every day, and you're not in that dieting mindset.